We're at Rockstar Studio and you're watching Urban Matrix. My name is CheSa and I'm the executive chef at CheSa's gluten-free food truck. You can find me on Instagram at chesas.gluten.free or Facebook, CheSa's gluten-free food truck. My website is www.chesasgtf.com.
What is your origin story? Tell me how you got to where you are today.
I started the food truck business about 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and so it's and if you're unfamiliar with what celiac disease is, it's an autoimmune disease, and I had issues with eating gluten. And so I was always super hungry and looking for food. And 5 years ago, there wasn't a lot of restaurants that had the offering of gluten-free food. So my thought process was I need to create, or someone needs to create, a gluten-free food truck. And I kept saying that, and eventually I literally walked into an abandoned food truck on the side of a building in Chinatown, actually. And so I got in contact with the original owners, traced down the people who bought the truck in Chicago, and just started my journey from there.
Nice, awesome. So was it difficult? Was it a difficult start for you? Did it open up other avenues for you, do you think?
Starting off initially, it was very difficult. I had a 1-year-old and I was just like, I got this truck, what do? I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know anything about the restaurant industry. I just knew that I wanted to eat gluten-free food and I wanted to cook. And so it took a little bit of time to build up a reputation and awareness of having the food truck available. And so probably maybe 2 years in, I was doing heavy, social media marketing. I was word of mouth, showing up at every event that I possibly could. I would do free events, volunteer, just to get my name out there so people would know that I had a food truck and that it was gluten-free.
That's very good. And so that leads me to think that the adverb I would describe, or the adjective that I would use to describe you, is persistent. But for yourself, what adjective would you use to describe yourself?
I think I'm very tenacious. I am very persistent, and I have once I set a goal, by any means necessary, I have to achieve that goal.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about your brand.
So CheSa's gluten-free brand is comprised of a couple different things. So we have the food truck, which is the umbrella organization, and we offer gluten-free food, we offer catering, we offer corporate pop-ups, vending opportunities, and from there, my business kind of expanded into the retail arena where we were in whole food grocery stores. So we've kind of played around with products in stores, selling gluten-free salads and pastas. From there, we extended on to doing meal prep, and meal prep really blew up because there were so many people who wanted healthy options at an affordable rate. So I still today continue to offer meal prep to clients. In addition to that, I am also an ambassador chef for the American Heart Association. So I teach a number of cooking classes and nutrition classes for American Heart Association. And I also go out into low-income communities, and I partner with the local farmer markets, and I provide samples to the community based off of the food that is available at the farmer markets.
That's so awesome. So you've done quite a few things in this time that you've been around. How long have you been doing this?
I have been in business. This is my 5th year in business.
Okay. So for the upcoming year, what plans do you have in the works?
So right now we're working on a virtual kitchen, and we just launched about 6 weeks ago. And within that virtual kitchen, I am currently operating 3 restaurant brands. We're hoping to expand it into 5. So for the next year, we're going to really focus in on making sure that our virtual kitchen has a presence on the north, south side, and possibly going to other states to kind of duplicate our process here.
Awesome. That is very good. So this is a lot that you're doing. It's a lot going on. Can you talk to me about some of the challenges that you faced in doing this and what you've done to overcome those challenges?
The number one challenge I think we face right now in this current climate is COVID-19. It's very difficult to get people to trust wanting to purchase from a restaurant at this time. They're a little scared that that the transmission of the virus might come through the food. So we are, taking all of the precautionary measures to make sure that our staff are healthy when they come on site, and that we are protecting ourselves while we're in the kitchen, as well as making sure that the food is stable and in a good, position to not be breathed on or anything like that.
Okay, so sounds like you have really taken some time to get things going. Tell me a little bit about what you plan to do for this next year.
Next year, we're planning to expand our current product into various virtual markets. So right now we have a virtual quick kitchen on the north side of Chicago, and we're hoping to duplicate that same concept on the south side, as well as expand into other states. And the virtual kitchen is basically using the delivery food platforms to meet the customers where they are.
Okay. And are there any hurdles that you faced since doing this and starting this initiative?
The number one hurdle that we're facing right now in this current climate is COVID-19. There are various, issues with people not wanting to get sick, wondering if the virus would be transmitted through food contact. So we're taking all the precautionary measures to make sure that our staff are safe and that the food is properly prepared.
What has been the most fulfilling experience you've had during the building of your brand?
The most fulfilling experience I've had with building CheSa's gluten-free is being able to show my 6-year-old daughter about ownership and entrepreneurship. So she's been on the truck since day one. She was a little toddler running around. So she's able to see how hard I work to make this goal of mine successful. The second piece is being able to go into those low-income communities and provide education to my family, to my neighbors, to my friends about how to make healthier decisions when it comes to the food that we provide ourselves and our family.
That's so awesome. And in this time that you've been building your brand, what would you say is the most challenging thing?
The most challenging thing, I think, in building the brand, and that's twofold as well. One side is capital and the other side is marketing. Food trucks essentially, it is a new concept. There were roach coaches back in the 70s. But as far as, banks wanting to fund the new food truck, it's been rather difficult because it's a shaky business. It doesn't have a long-standing history of being successful. So in the past, it had been difficult to get capital to fund certain things. You have to stay relevant in this business. A lot of food trucks just think, if they just go out and park somewhere, people will come. But you have to come up with dynamic ways to introduce the products that you have, as well as through different social media marketing. So it's always staying relevant is the key with the concept that you're introducing off your truck, as well as how you're introducing that concept.
Awesome. Is there anyone in your life, currently or in the past, who you would say was most influential in helping you to get to where you are today?
I thought about this. So it's like, I would have to say there are a couple of people that have been influential in helping me to be successful in this business. And I mentioned this before, my daughter. She's my number one inspiration because I want her to actually see the work that I'm doing and know that hard work pays off. So it's her inheritance, it's her legacy, and I want to make sure that she is a part of it and also witnessing it.
Awesome. So a few months ago, maybe more like a year ago now, we did an issue. It was the holistic health issue, and it was important for me to be able to showcase to viewers that entrepreneurs are doing things to consider their own holistic health. So I want to ask you, what is something that you do for yourself on a daily or weekly basis that is just for you?
So I spend my me time a lot meditating and projecting or thinking about positive things. I speak life into myself, my business, my daughter, so I make sure that that is daily. So every day I'm waking up, I'm like, great things are happening for CheSa Gluten Free. Great things are happening for CheSa. I make sure that that is done because, you know, anything can impact your business, you know, and I want to make sure that that I'm sustainable and that I have good thoughts about it. So that's something that I do for my me time to make sure that I'm okay.
Awesome, awesome. Tell me what you do for joy.
For joy, what do I do for joy? For joy, I spend a lot of time with my daughter. I spend a lot of time with friends and family. So that it's my comfort zone.
Awesome. So this is the final question. So it's going to go fast. But finally, what would you say is the single most important piece of advice that you can give to any entrepreneur?
The single most important piece of advice I would give to any entrepreneur is to stay consistent. You know, people like consistency. They want to make sure that they're going to get the same thing every time, whether it's an action or a product. And once you stop being consistent, then people will stop trusting your brand. So stay consistent.
That's super awesome. I really appreciate you coming and sitting with us today and having this talk. Is there anything else at all that you would like to tell our viewers or your viewers?
I would say, you know, make sure you follow me on social media. Just say hi. You know, I am responsible for all of the social media, so, you know, it's me answering questions about your celiac gluten-free diet. So feel free to just reach out to me or buy food.